All right, hey, we're back with part 2 of the video. I'm going to roll you guys through 3 examples, and hopefully it'll be a lot more clear what you guys are going to do on this assignment tonight. So check out this first example. Step 1. It's get x or y by itself. Solve for x or y. And you're doing it based on convenience. So I'm looking at a 3y, a 3x, a 2y, and an x. The most convenient equation to work with would be the bottom one, because all we would need to do is subtract 2y from both sides to get one of the variables by themselves. So for step 1, I'm choosing 2y plus x equals 10. It's kind of like when we were writing equations of lines and you had 2 ordered pairs and you got to choose which one to plug into the equation, y equals mx plus b. That's kind of a similar idea of choice. So I can subtract the 2y from both sides. All right? So then x equals 10 minus 2y. And I always put these in parentheses just to remind myself that they're going in place of a variable and I need grouping terms here. Make sure you don't actually try to evaluate 10 minus 2y. It does not equal 8y. Okay, step 1 done. Step 2. This is where we plug that expression. Plug the step 1 expression into the other equation. So you don't have to keep writing this step-by-step process down if you've got it written. I'm trying to organize it just a little bit more clearly. So here's the expression. Here's the other equation. So the other equation is 3y minus 3x equals 6. Since I got x by itself, the x in the second equation is what's going to be disappearing and replace with the expression that I got on the previous line. So I'm going to give myself a little more room here. 10 minus 2y can replace the x that was being multiplied by 3 here. That used to be an x. Now it's a 10 minus 2y. All right, if you know how to solve equations, this is your chance to shine. So I need to take this negative 3 and multiply it through to the 10. That's negative 30. I need to take negative 3 times negative 2y. That's going to be a positive 6y. And then I drop down the 3y and the 6. All right, now I see that this negative 30 isn't gonna combine with these y terms, so I'm going to add it to the other side right away to zero it out on the left and then create a 36 on the right. So I've got 3y plus 0, that's just 3y, plus 6y, 9y. All right, so I got 9y equals 36. I'll write them closer together so it doesn't look so awkward. Divide by 9. Y equals 4. So at the end of step 2, I got y is equal to 4. All right, step 3. I'm taking my answer from step 2, plug your answer from step 2 into the equation from step 1. because it's the most convenient equation to solve for the other variable. So step 3 looks like this. I'm going to erase this work. So if you need to, take a screenshot of it to save it to kind of compare with what I'm doing on step 3. So I just eliminating step 2 for a moment, just so that I can show that step 3 is me taking the y equals 4 and plugging it into the y right there. So y is 4. So I'm literally going to say, take out the y, put 4 in its place. So then it's 2 times 4 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. All right. So I solve for my y, then I solve for my x. Now step 4 is just writing the solution as an ordered pair. Step 4, write your solution as an ordered pair. Can you guys see that? Kind of? Barely. Yeah, and maybe I'll just put ordered pair in parentheses with a comma separating it, just to show you guys what I mean. Yeah, so here's step number 4. 2, 4. 2, 4. Let's try another one. All right, so step 1. Let's pick one of the equations. Can you guys see all that? You sure can. Pick one of these equations and get either x or y by itself. It seems to be done for us. X is already by itself. So step 1, I'm just going to put a check mark on and say, x equals negative 2y. Got it. Step 2, I'm plugging into the second equation. My second equation is negative y minus x equals negative 1. I'm taking the x value of negative 2y, and I'm replacing this x right here with negative 2y. So it's negative y minus parentheses negative 2y. X is replaced with negative 2y. All right, I've got a minus and negative, which you guys remember becomes a positive when you subtract a negative. So it's really like negative y plus 2y equals negative 1. And really, I should think about this as negative 1y, because now negative 1 plus 2 is 1y. Yeah, 1y is the same as y. Step 2 is done. Step 3. This is where I plug the answer from step 2 into step 1. So I've got y equals negative 1. I'm going to replace y with negative 1. And that's positive 2. So I've got x equals 2. I've got y equals negative 1. Our two lines that we did not graph intersect at, step 4, the ordered pair, 2, comma, negative 1. All right, here's my last one. It's very tricky. I mean, not very tricky. It's a weird case. Here's why it's weird. First of all, both equations have x by themselves. Like if I were to rewrite the underneath here, I've got x is equal to 3y minus 8 up top. On the bottom, if I just rewrote it as x on the left and 8y plus 12 on the right, I've got both equations with the variable by itself. So when you ask yourself, what is step 1, it's already done for you. X is by itself, but it's done in two different equations. So here's what you do in this case. If they both equal x, it's kind of like, okay, I have a expression in terms of y that equals x, and then another expression in terms of y equals x. You can state, hey, this x right here can be replaced with this green x. All right, think of it like that. Hold on. So here are our two equations. I'm rewriting the second one, but I'm saying, hey, the black x here is exactly the same as the green x here. The black x is the same as the green x. And the green x is the same as 3y minus 8. So, did you see what happened there? I basically set 3y minus 8 equal to 8y plus 12 because they both equal x. They're equal to each other. There's actually a property called the transitive property that backs up that step. Some of you guys may have heard of that before. It's more of a geometry term. Okay, how do we solve equations with variables on both sides? Pretty much the same way as before. I have a constant negative 8 that needs to go to 12, so I'm going to add it to this side, add it to that side. It zeroes out here. Okay, so I got 3y is equal to 8y plus 20. And then I could subtract the 8y here, subtract the 8y here. So that would be 0 plus 20 is 20, and 3 minus 8 is negative 5y. My apologies, you could not see that last move. And then we just divide by negative 5 on the left to create a 1y, divide by negative 5 on the right, and then you get 20 divided by negative 5. That equals y equals negative 4 on that move. So this was kind of like, hey, step 1's already done for us. Kinda, you got variables by themselves. Step 2 happened right here. This was sort of like the parentheses here. So this was all step 2. Step 3 is take the negative 4 and plug it into the original equation that you used here. So I'm going to do x equals 3y minus 8. The y disappears and is replaced with negative 4. So x is equal to negative 12 minus 8, which gives me x equals negative 20, because same sign adds together, and then you keep the negative. Step 4, negative 20, comma, negative 4 is our final answer. All right, now guys, there's 6 problems on this homework set. I know that it's not comfy right now just because it's not graphing, and graphing we've been doing for almost a month now. So I'm counting on you guys to take this in, soak it up, copy down the notes by hand, and then, give it a chance to kind of piece together in your mind. All right, thanks for watching.